Welcome back. A growing number of threats targeting judges across the state. Republicans on the Budget Committee rejecting a proposal from the state Supreme Court to essentially create a new law enforcement branch specifically for the courts. The Legislative Fiscal Bureau reporting 22 credible and identifiable threats targeting judges and justices in just the first 3 months of this year. That's on pace for 88 by the end of the year, compared with 29 last year and 46 in 2023. All this with the immense national spotlight on Milwaukee County with that high-profile arrest of Milwaukee County Judge Hannah Dugan, the Justice Department accusing her of helping an undocumented immigrant evade federal ICE agents. With that, let's bring in Milwaukee County Chief Judge Carl Ashley. Judge, good to have you. Great to see you. Thanks for being here today.
Matt, thank you for the opportunity to be here.
I want to first talk about just this wide issue of threats targeting judges and justices across the state. Republicans on the Budget Committee rejected this proposal to essentially create this new agency. I'm curious your thoughts on that and how we move this conversation forward.
Well, that ship has sailed.
Yeah.
And so there are still opportunities for us to develop a potential to provide better safety nets for judicial officers, but more frankly, the entire community as it relates to court proceedings. Because although it's something we're concerned about with the judges and judicial officers generally, it's also a broader issue about making sure that people who are participating in court proceedings feel safe.
I know you can't talk specific or pending cases. There is an example, a recent one, a Milwaukee man just charged with threatening a judge in Milwaukee County. He made a social media post, prosecutors say, that said in part, "It's all fun and games until the judge gets found breathless with holes in his face." Is this symbolic of some of the threats judges are seeing across the state?
Well, you are correct. I cannot talk about a pending case, Matt, but I will tell you the concerns are real.
Yeah.
This is not isolated. Let's look at it this way. When you sign up to be a judicial officer, you understand that there's going to be litigants that appear in front of you where you make tough decisions where not everybody's going to be happy. So you know some people are going to be upset, and we try to manage that, allow them to have that breather. But what we're talking about is that aggravated circumstance where it's beyond just being upset, beyond the emotions of that moment, to threats.
I'm curious, when we talk security and when we talk about the threats broadly, what have you seen, what have other potential judges seen in the wake of and after the arrest of Judge Dugan?
Well, again, I'm not going to talk about that case directly, but we have always had flare-ups with threats. I think in Milwaukee County we've had at least 4 this year. That causes concern.
Was this arrest a flare-up in your words in terms of what you're hearing potentially from people across the country? I mean, it's an incredibly politically charged moment we're in.
Well, that's the reality. So Matt, we can't avoid the realities of what's going on in our country, but I want to stay focused at the courthouse. And at the courthouse, we've over the years had issues where people have taken it a step higher than they should or done something requiring intervention by law enforcement. So it's not an anomaly. The numbers are going up, but I think it's an important opportunity for us to see why we need a new criminal safety building for Milwaukee County, because it's going to provide what the Supreme Court says, which is that there should be sectoring in a courthouse. And that means there's an area that public comes through. There's an area for designated people like judges, staff, jurors, and then there's a section for those in custody and law enforcement.
Have you had any other interactions with ICE agents or federal officials since the arrest of Judge Dugan?
I will say that I'm in conversation with Immigration, Customs, and Enforcement officials recently, last week. And why? Because there is an effort to try to realize how they can do their work and how we can do ours. And so this is an ongoing discussion, and I hope to, based on some recent events and also some clarity from other aspects of policies, that we're able to come up with something that's going to be supportive of what we have to do as judicial officers in Milwaukee County and what Immigration Enforcement, Customs Enforcement Unit has to do as well. So there's some discussions, recent discussions on how we can collaborate and come up with an understanding. Because what we want to do in Milwaukee County is we want to be able to handle our proceedings. We don't want our proceedings to be interrupted, to be interfered with. We also understand that in the public hallways, that's a different issue. And so we want to make sure that we support what we need to do and they respect it, and then we respect what they have to do. And so we're working on something, and I've had ongoing contact with them.
Based on these conversations, do you think the arrest could have been prevented?
Well, that's $1 million question there, Matt. I don't know. I don't know. And I'm not, again, I don't want to allude to what happened and all of that because it's a pending matter. But I do need guidance. I have 25 commissioners. We've got 47 judges, including me. So I do want a policy so that there's some clarity on what the parameters are. As you might expect, not all of my colleagues have the same opinion about certain things, but we have a job to do, and we want to also make sure that at the end of the day, we're doing the best thing we can to support our activities and making sure that we do our jobs.
And fair to say that policy is still a work in progress?
It is, but it's coming to fruition.
Milwaukee County Chief Judge Carl Ashley. Judge, thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. Coming up, the new book, A Big Talker, the new congressional investigations launched by Senator Johnson. Alex Thompson, co-author of Original Sin, standing by next.